the amount of vulnerability and just, it's not something that you see very much. Like, I'm used to people like Aaron that I'm crying and bawling my eyes out at, like, a dog. Just seeing a dog or a baby or whatever. It doesn't even have to die. I can just cry. And he's like, okay, well, moving on. But just the amount of energy and presence that each individual had, like, on more than one occasion, like, they would speak and their voice would shake. Like, you can tell that there's a lot of emotion and things like that came into it. And not only that, but, like, if you look back at it, and I don't know all these guys on a personal level, but I'm sure that a lot of them also dealt with different familial types of environments where many of them probably had divorced dads, probably a lot of them had single mothers, probably a lot of them, like, E.T. for a good...
What are you doing today that makes you better than the person you were yesterday? That is part of the Ascension brand. That is the motto, the heart of what we stand for. When I pass away, I want people to know. I want people to remember me, not for the time that I've spent on this planet, but for the things that I have done to contribute to society. My mama raised a loser, but I broke the chains. I wasn't made to be a player. I was made to build a game. I skipped breaks. You would call me insane.
Whew. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Dirty Trunk Podcast with the Elephant as always. Welcome. It is me, your boy, Marcus Morton. Always here with me is the Aaron Mack. And we have back once again in what, the same month?
Yes.
2 in 1 month. Wow.
This
2 in 1 month.
Clap it up, people. Clap it up. We have Alyssa Ramirez.
Woo!
And we're back for another one for I know the setup looks kind of
Sketchy.
It's okay, you can be honest.
Sketchy.
there's some white substance on it. I don't know what that is.
Oh,
Anyway,
we can ignore it. It ain't in frame. We just want to ignore it.
We just came from the it was yesterday. We went to the 360 Man conference and it was amazing.
Phenomenal.
What were you guys' thoughts on that? You enjoyed yourselves?
It was amazing. I'm glad that I came. Glad last minute trip to Atlanta. It was well worth it.
Definitely wasn't Alyssa's plan on coming. She was already planning on staying at the house and working on some other stuff. And they said something on the podcast, and it was like some geared towards women being there because people were, I guess, because they were advertised it as 360 Mankind. Then like the women were just like, all right, so I guess I ain't got no reason to be in there. And they said something on the podcast last week on S2S where they were just saying that the women need to be there too because you got to learn how to support the man. Mm-hmm. So I asked her, I was like, so they said you should be there.
Well, I guess I'm going.
And she came.
Made the decision at like 8:30 when we were supposed to be going to bed.
You know what I'm saying?
Decided to buy the ticket.
You know what I'm saying?
Send the immediate message to help have somebody cover for me at work. Like, yep, nope, I'm not coming.
Yeah.
That's good though. That's good though.
Go ahead, man.
I was gonna say like it's amazing that like when you do have a support system like that, you can get like a lot done. You can push yourself forward.
Right.
Because as you can see, my man is shuffling something in his hand right now, and I think he wants to want to share.
No.
Just shuffling. Oh, okay. All right. Well, what did you have, sir? You was about to say something.
All right, so I had a little boss of false because I remember talking back on the podcast once before, saying that when people move into houses, when they come out of apartments, remember what I said? The first thing that they screw up when they move from an apartment to a house,
The lawn.
The lawn. Yeah, I was wondering if you will remember that. So for different reasons, I screwed up our lawn. Last year around this time, I started trying to kill the grass off so we could plant some grass seed, and realized that I've been putting a whole bunch of effort into doing something that I shouldn't have been doing. I should have consulted a professional. Professional meaning probably my neighbor. But, that's neither here
The
or
one
there.
with a very green lawn that looks very healthy.
That's neither here or there. We can roll past that part. But what ended up happening, right? So now it's starting to get a little warm. Grass starting to come back and everything. Well, our grass that came back, had babies, and they came back too.
With wild onions.
Yeah, and all type of stuff outside our yard, dandelions, wild onions, crabgrass, all type of stuff, man. And I ain't necessarily been cutting it because I ain't got the time. So I realized that when the grass come to your belt buckle,
Jesus,
it's about time to, well, not necessarily like the grass, or you just got like certain spots or where the weed just sit a little tall, like the dandelions. They grow 6 feet now. Didn't know that shit until last week. Whatever. But I went out there to start cutting it, and pulled the lawnmower out for the first time in a whole year, bro. Like it ain't been started over the winter. I mean, it's been garage kept, so it's been climate controlled, but like for the most part, like the same gas was in it, the same oil was in it. Like that thing has just been sitting for a whole entire year. Like I won't even use it last summer. That's how long it's been in the garage, because I started trying to kill the grass off, so I ain't need it for the rest of the year. And in the process of trying to fix it, I'm like spraying carburetor cleaner on it, putting fresh gas in it, and tried to start it. It started up for like 10 seconds for the first time, and it caught on fire.
Oh my God.
Now, here's where the boss of false come in at, right? Because I was thinking about it. I'm like, yo, you a dirty dude for that. Like, I pushed that joint outside. I was working on it in the garage, and I saw the fire. I was like, oh, that ain't good. So I pushed it out in the yard, and I just like casually walked back in the house, and I was like thinking about it. I'm like, yo, if it burn up, I'm gonna have to get a new one. If I put it out, I'm gonna have to get a new one, because I don't know what the hell is going on with it. I don't know how to fix it for real. I know how to take it apart, clean it, put it back together, but as far as like what's going on with it, I don't really know. So I just thought about it, and like I was looking for the fire extinguisher, but I couldn't find that joint. So I kind of gave up hope. I couldn't find it because the garage was junky. So I kind of gave up hope, and it was like, would it be a boss or a false move to just go back in the house, close the garage door, and just go lay back in the bed and let your lawnmower just burn up in the middle of the yard?
That would be totally a false move because of reasons. The wind could blow and fire could get everywhere, and
great for a movie, but all you need to do is walk away from the explosion.
That too.
More like a firecracker.
Would it explode?
I don't think so. I think it'll just melt.
I mean, how much gas was in it?
That was full.
Also, depending on which lawn you had it in, it could be next to the cars, though.
Oh, no, I made sure it wasn't near the cars. I was headed near the tree stump.
That's wild. That is...
False move. False move.
All right.
Wake up your love so that she can find the fire extinguisher.
I found the fire extinguisher, by the way.
Okay, all right. Well, did the fire get put out?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All
the lawnmower actually worked now, which is crazy.
What?
He mowed the lawn afterward.
Yeah.
He's like, well, it didn't melt anything.
That's strange. That is wild. So what started it? Anyway.
I think it was the carburetor cleaner. It hit the spark plug. And it came out. There was like a trail of it that, you spray it, it kind of lead a trail coming back to the can, and the sparked it up and lit the side on fire. Yeah. But anyway, we ain't here to talk about lawn care because that's somebody else's podcast. We are in Atlanta right now, sitting in a sketchy hotel room, looking across at the Atlanta airport. Considering how close we are to the airport, I'm really surprised that this hotel was this cheap. But then I look around the room and I realize why. That's a whole different area of expertise. I ain't about to talk about that. We just about to go ahead and get into what we planned on talking about, and that is the 360 Mankind from yesterday. Mr. Eric Thomas, E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher, put on the one of the biggest events of the year, where to help families and communities grow by teaching men how to be men. And I think that is something that is a skill that is lacking in the world right now, because you have all of these like men that just have all of these different perspectives from other men who don't know what's going on. And you might have the perspective of a man that does know what's going on, but for whatever reason, the society has trained us to be one way, but we really need to be something else in order to be successful in life. And that is successful as a man, successful as a father, successful as a husband, a brother, a friend. But we get all of these weird stigmas in life, and all this weird information that, I'm being real with you, I have absolutely no idea where the information comes from, but it's a lot out there. So we're here to talk about that. So I've been kind of quiet since we left that joint. I'm just going to say, like, it's not a lot of things that bring me to tears. Like, I'm just being real. Like, it's not a lot of things that bring me to tears. I can watch, I can watch, what's that movie where the dog gets shot behind the shed all day. I got nothing for you, but like, for real, like, I'm not trying to make a joke out of it. Like, sad things don't make me sad, but like, for real, like, me thinking about myself sitting at that conference listening to those guys made me sad. Like, just being, if I'm being 100% honest. So I want to be vulnerable on this one, and I want to talk to somebody who, I want to talk to the people who feel like they're too strong to let that help in. Because like we come from a community. I know me and Mark, we don't have deep conversation for real. Like we talk on the podcast, with our problems and stuff, like our real life problems. We don't necessarily talk about those things. And I want to open up, and I want to talk to somebody out there who has that same issue, and let them know that we can have a conversation and just be men together. Like, we could talk about our struggles. We could talk about feelings. I know you don't want to talk about feelings. It's all good. But you strong. I'm grown. Yeah, I got you. We understand that. We're gonna get there. But I want to talk about the 360 Mankind. Some of the things that people said last night. Wish I had my joint with me.
Where'd you put them?
They in the car. They in the backseat. But yeah, we gonna talk. We gonna get into that, man. For one thing, like, I want to know, like, 'cause Mark, this is your first time going to like
one of their conferences,
like one of ET's joints. So like, being in the atmosphere, in the environment, let them know how you felt, man.
I felt like moved. Like, it's not my first conference, but my first conference like this. Like, usually it's just, you go there, you sit in a chair, and you just sit in that chair until either they have like a break or intermission, or you leave. And it's not like, it could be because I was a child at the time and I didn't like really understand what was going on, so I was just a body in a seat. But this, like, it was amazing, because like the cats in front of us, they looked like younger than us.
Yeah.
And to actually be like, present, like they were, clapping, like, yo, say
Dude
your
was
piece.
taking
And
notes.
I was like,
Dude was
what?
Like, I saw them too, because I was like, yo, these little knuckleheads that came in that joint, and they was like staring at their phone the whole time. But then my man pulled out an iPad and he was taking notes on the iPad, and I was like, "Yo, come on, bro! Like, what is it?" Yeah,
Like I was moved by just that alone. Like
Yeah.
there were like younger cats and there, older cats, and they were all there to be present. Like
yeah,
the whole community was like there and like active, just wanting to be there. So just a conference like that is just that alone, that piece alone, them being able to speak something that would bring people, each person there, to actually be attentive to the message and wanting to receive it is just amazing. That speaks volumes on the speakers, the person who brought it, ET and whatnot, and that alone just had me speechless.
yeah,
Yeah, I love the amount of not only knowledge that came with each individual, but the amount of transparency and vulnerability that they all
Yeah.
had. Because these guys are not exactly like tiny dudes, like very, they are very much so full manly men. Like they have the muscles, they have like whatever else, they have the large career, they've got like the big family, but they've got this, that, and the other. But then, like, hell, they had Deion Sanders, that's a football player in the past, and he was very vulnerable about why his marriages didn't work out, why he finds himself to be a better father, why he feels that he got into his initial relationships that didn't work out, what was the things that he's improving on, how he came back to improve on his communities, how he
became a better father.
right, not only that, but also just why he decided to do what he does now that he's retired, how he had to grow his faith to match his inner self, and how he compared himself to Jamal and then compared himself to a small child when he had to work on his faith so that he could actually get out of a hospital bed and walk again. The amount of vulnerability and just, it's not something that you see very much. Like, I'm used to people like Aaron that I'm crying and bawling my eyes out at like a dog. Just seeing a dog or a baby or whatever. It doesn't even have to die. I can just cry. And he's like, okay, well, moving on. But just the amount of energy and presence that each individual had, like on more than one occasion, like they would speak and their voice would shake. Like you can tell that there's a lot of emotion and things like that that came into it. And not only that, but like if you look back at it, and I don't know all these guys on a personal level, but I'm sure that a lot of them also dealt with different familial types of environments where many of them probably had divorced dads, probably a lot of them had single mothers, probably a lot of them, like E.T. for a good bit of his life didn't have either parent in his life. Like he was homeless in just abandoned buildings. There was Deion Sanders that probably went through some stuff. There's people that unfortunately had parents that weren't very well present. Just like Toby, he was talking about how he had the very Nigerian father that's like, okay, whose turn is it to do the dishes? Great. You? All right, go.
Yeah.
And it wasn't very familial. It wasn't a situation where it's somebody that's a father figure in your life that's actually willing to be present and try and train you or teach you the ways that they've become a man themselves and how they wanted to improve on their lives. Like everyone thinks that, oh, I had a father. That's enough. I will know exactly how to be a man. And it's not always that the case.
That's something that I want to touch on too. Like, some people think they men just because they like, and they
Carry
said
the
it.
parts.
They said it like, you think you a man just because you got the parts of a man, you got the utensils of a man, you got the appearance of a man, you got the facial hair of a man. But like is you learn that stuff from your environment. You learn it from the media.
Yeah.
Like you don't necessarily you're not necessarily a man because you show or you appear as a man to other people, and you're not necessarily a father just because you had a dad. You know what I'm saying? You only can be what you know. So it's like I grew up with like for instance, I grew up with a single mom. My mom, my mom went on that love stuff. Like just being real, like growing up, like I had a challenge because I used to always try to get affection from my mom, but it won't dare. Like there was no I love you, son. Let me give you a hug. All that stuff. It was always constant yelling. It was always constant bickering, arguing about everything under the sun. Mostly money, though. I'm not sure why a grown woman would be arguing with a teenager about money, but that's beyond the point here. But that's what I knew growing up. So I realized when I went into my first marriage that I was parenting the way my mom was parenting me. I ended up doing the same thing to my ex's little girl that my mom was doing to me. The constant yelling, the abandonment, the turning your back on you, like cold shoulder, tough love kind of situation. Like that's what I was doing. And I realized that, yo, this ain't right. Like something ain't right here. So you don't necessarily, and you know, it's not like I did that on purpose. It's not like I didn't care. The thing that I need you guys to realize is that if you never learn what's right, you accidentally do what's wrong.
Mm-hmm. You always, what was the saying? You revert back to your training rather than your strategy.
Yeah.
Like if that's all that you've ever been trained to do, the yelling, the just all those things that he talked about, like at the end of the day, you go back to what you know. You don't necessarily, I didn't appreciate this when I was a child, so why would I do that now?
And like real talk, like, am I saying that those were the things that made my mom a bad mom? Like, no, I'm not saying that, but like for real, like you probably got family members who did that, and like no disrespect to my mom though. That's what she went through as a child. That's the only parenting she got. She had 2 parents there, 3 parents actually, if you want to be technical. But you know, stepdad. But that's the same treatment that she got from her mom. But her relationship with her mom was like their relationship was fire. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like it didn't bother her at all because just guess what? Back then, that's what they used to do. That's how black folks treated their kids back in the day. Like I can't fault her for what she know. You know, if that make any sense. But here's what I'm trying to get you to understand. Just because it happened doesn't mean that it's right. Mm-hmm. So why was it important for us to be here? Like I dropped everything. I'm not in a financial position to be here. Like I'm just being real. We not in a position right now where we could miss work. Like I'm just being real. Like the 9 to 5 right now, we supposed to be there. Like right now, right. Our shift just started an hour ago. Like right now, we supposed to be there, but we sacrificed everything to be here. Why? Because we needed to be in a place where there are people doing it, and they're doing it at a high level. Because it's not at this point now, it don't make sense to just be doing it just to do it. Right now, at this point in our lives, with all this stuff going on in the world, with everything happening right now, our children needs us to step up. Mm-hmm. They need us to step up. Our family members, they need us to step up. There has to be a way. Like somebody has to be the vessel of hope in this dark world right now, and that's why we came here to we here for that. So not only did I bring myself, like I had to bring Mark. Like I was like, yo, there's no way that we going to get this information. I'm going to get this information without him. Like it's not even, it wouldn't even be relevant at this point. With us trying to start this business, this family effort, like there was no way that I was going to come down here by myself.
So that was one of the things that was actually talked about that stood out to me. Having that sacred circle, that community of like people that's just gonna constantly uplift you, and it's something we've been saying before. You know, get off your own planet and seek the people that are gonna take you to new heights. And then another thing that also was said, have systems. Like, you need systems in place to basically be your anchor to it's kind of like your moral compass, or standing for something you believe in, to keep you from swaying from like the waves of like society, or like you said, that programming or conditioning you had when you were growing up. You need a system in place to break that, so you can be in a position to help or lift up your kids, your relationship, your marriage, your business relationships, if you're having one. It's just something that shouldn't be looked over. You should dive right into it to ground you, to just like, if some type of adversity comes up, it's not just like, oh man, maybe I should go to the left. No, it's something that's just gonna breeze right past you. The adversity is gonna be just like something that comes and goes, but you're still on that straight and narrow path to your greatness. So
yeah. So like, why did we get on here to talk about that, right? Like, I know men. Like we come across people every single day, and though we may not be in the right environment, I'm not going to go out on a limb and say that we're in the wrong community. Like, I just want to be clear on that. Like, we're in the wrong environment, but there's no such thing as the wrong community. I mean, you could be around people who they do some dirty stuff, but everybody, like, I don't personally believe that there's nobody that can't be redeemed. Right? Exactly. I don't believe that there's anybody that's beyond saving. And I say that because, like, we in an environment where people have given up hope. Like, they've given up hope on doing basic stuff, like not just being a man in general. They've given up hope on succeeding in life. They've given up hope on having freedom. They given up hope on the 5 pillars that Jamal talked about: faith, family, fitness, finance, and freedom. They given up hope on all of that. They don't believe that those things are you can be fruitful in those things. They don't believe that you can have a good family because they come from bad families. They don't believe that you can have good fitness because everybody around them is obese. They don't believe that you can have faith in anything because they came from a community that you ain't necessarily got nothing. They don't believe in freedom because they entire family, their whole lineage has been shackled to a job their entire life. So and for real, like John C. Maxwell, for real, he said, like, when people don't they don't believe or trust the ways of success, if they don't want to go with you when you're going, then you shouldn't even sign up for that class. Trying to find out what they want to do, or trying to find out why they so adverse to doing it. Like, my man, that was 70 years ago, bro. Like, for real, I was in the Army. They said no man left behind. They said no man left behind. So where I struggle at is the situation of, I'm around men all the time, but they can't see a bright future. And for real, what most men are doing right now, what I'm noticing, most men are doing it because they can't see that bright future, Mark, they're taking it out on everybody else. So now, because you had such a dark past, and you have such a dark reality and obscured reality because of your dark past and your dark situation, now you making your situation darker. And now, because you are living in that dark situation, now you're inadvertently teaching that darkness to your kids. You're teaching that darkness to your family. You're teaching that darkness to your parents, your brothers, your sisters, your co-workers even. Like, for real, like, because men don't see that they don't see prosperity in their lives, or they haven't seen prosperity in their lives. They don't know what it looks like, bro. We come from a community where prosperity is so far that we don't even believe it's real unless you win the lottery.
Yeah.
We so obscure on what freedom is that we think that if we got money, then that just fix everything.
Well, and that's another thing, is that a lot of people, they don't believe that they can have all of it. Like, there was the guy that came up to Jamal like, oh, look at my six-pack, look at this, look at that, I'm so fit. He was like, okay, well, where's your wife?
Well, your wife ain't on
Where's
your
your kids?
Yep.
Show me your bank account.
Yep.
Like, are you just great at one thing and completely, like, abandon the others? What sort of quality relationships do you have? Do you have this, that, and the other? Like, you can have it all. Like, there's a whole room full of men that were speaking yesterday that have all of those things. It's clearly available to everyone, and it's just a matter of lack of knowledge, or lack of an anchor, like you were saying.
Yeah.
With that, it's like they said, the 5 pillars. It's a balancing system. Like you said, you can't be stronger in one without being stronger in other. If you're stronger in all 5, like, the possibilities are like endless. Like, we've seen someone, the person who, I don't think he made the 5 pillars, right? Or he
Jamal did.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, so he made the system of the 5 pillars, right? And he's a prime example of that. Like, anything he wants to do, he goes for it. Anything his kids want to do, they go for it. Anything his wife wanted to do, they go for it. They execute it. They family, they do it as together. The fitness, they all work out. They all got a trainer. Finance, I'm not sure what.
Several streams of income.
They got
several doors of real estate, daycare, all of that good stuff.
Multi-several.
Yeah.
You just said, like, building an apartment. You got an apartment building, just building like crazy. 90 plus units of apartment.
I think he said 96.
Yeah, it's crazy. We own a daycare center, security company.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Execution, having that anger to ground them, it's just everything they want to do is executable. It's like second nature, basically. With a system in place like that, everything else is chump change. All it is you just going out, learning what you got to do, and then applying the foundation and executing.
That's it, like, literally. Like, I used to think that everything was deep. Like, I used to think that, people who got money, like, they just got money because they know something that I don't know. Like, I used to think that you had to have a degree to do it. And, like, something I realized about degrees is, like, yo, for real, folks put all this energy into being educated. And you feel like, and you may be just like me. You feel like because you're not educated, you're not in a position to actually do anything and make success in life. Like, you may feel like that. So, like, for real, here's why I want to challenge you. I had 3 mentors in my life that said that they glad they weren't formally educated, because if they were formally educated, they would be too stupid to execute on what they needed to execute on. I'm just being real. E.T. was one of them. E.T. said, I'm so glad that situation happened to me, because if it didn't happen to me, I would probably be like y'all. I had a mentor back in the day who dropped out of high school, had a baby at the age of 16 years old, multimillionaire. Said she was glad she never went to school because some of y'all too stupid y'all too smart that you stupid. So you feel like you should be, or you too old to do anything. You feel like you got to go to school or something because society told you that. Like, for real, society told you that, but not the fact that you got other things, other determining factors that you need to deal with before you even think about education. Like there's not an education gap here. There's an execution gap here. And now not only is there execution gap here, you in your feelings about every goddamn thing as a man. Like for real, like you ain't, I ain't even about to say as a man, because like this ain't about men. Like for real, like I'm just going ahead and put that out there. Like I know we got some women who listen to this too. This ain't about just men. This is about everybody. I just want to go ahead and put that out there. So like that what I just said about the education thing, there are women feeling like that too. There are people who feel like, there are people who get up in age who feel like because they haven't went to school, they can't do anything. But that's just something that you were told. But it's not reality. Some of the most successful people in the world got GEDs, bruh, with no college education. So what is your excuse now? And what I notice in our community is that people make excuses before they make plans on executing on anything. You rather tell everybody why you ain't doing nothing than to tell them that you did something. Or better yet, when you do something, you sit up there, hang your hat on it for a whole 5, 6, 7 years as if you already, like you still doing it. Am I wrong? Like,
No.
Yeah.
I mean, and
Right.
when they ultimately fail with that kind of mentality, there's a lot of people that won't even own up, like, hey,
Right.
I made these mistakes. I'm learning these lessons. I went back and received this information. I'm going to apply it in these ways to make this system. Like, a lot of them don't have that mental clarity to even be like, oh, that's the next step. Like,
Yeah.
I need to figure out what went wrong so I can remove those aspects or improve on them, gather new information, pair it up, move on. There's so many people that are like, oh, well, fuck this, I didn't figure it out. And then they just walk away and just never try it again.
right.
Whereas there's somebody that's going to be a little bit smarter that'll be like, oh, okay, well, that didn't work out. Let's put these two together, concoct it up. Here you go. And the world loves it. There's so many people that are just so driven to a point, and then the moment that they hit that adversity, that they're like, oh, well, I guess I can't make anything of myself. Oh no, what am I to do?
This is like Marcus said, what is your anchor?
Right.
What got you here?
And not only that, but just like Jesse was talking about, who promised you tomorrow?
Right.
Who promised you an adverse-free world?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that, like, the moment that we all were born out of the womb, I'm pretty sure there was a sense of adversity, like, whether it be, like, if somebody just dropped you in a bucket and just let you go.
For real, like
you
your
don't
whole
think that you
birth
would
is
have,
your whole birth is adversity.
Oh God.
From the moment you are born, you have adversity.
You have adversity the moment you come out your father.
Yeah.
Like real talk. Like somebody just said like recently, like if you think of a sperm cell, bruh, millions of sperm cells come out at one time, bruh. Millions. They said that it's 6 inches for a sperm cell has to travel from the inside of the vagina to the egg. 6 inches. It is the equivalent because the sperm cell is so small. It's equivalent to what they said 400 miles. It's equivalent to 400 miles. So you saying that you came out among millions you came out among, and you were the one that made it 400 miles and buried yourself into the egg, because you ain't the only one that made it to the egg. You buried yourself in that egg, and you did it quicker than hundreds of others, and the rest of them didn't make it. They didn't make the trip. You made the trip 400 miles. You made the trip in, and you feel like adversity is not going to happen in your life. Adversity already happened on a biological level. Before you got here. It was 9 months of pregnancy is adversity.
Yeah.
You survived that because human conditions, I promise you, human conditions are not safe right now. There are women right now who work in warehouses who are pregnant with kids, and they working at warehouses. And I'm pretty sure my mom was smoking when she was pregnant, bro. Like for real, like yo, you were born through adversity. So if you have challenges in your life, the only thing that you should know that if you come across challenges, that you should feel stronger when you beat those challenges versus when you quit. So if you quit those challenges, if you quit in the middle of having those challenges, then there needs to be a level of acceptance that I wasn't strong enough to do it. Don't just let it disappear. So what is your anchor? What are you bought it to? Like for real, my anchor is the fact that if I don't do what I need to do for myself right now, if I don't check this out, if I don't do what I need to do for myself, then my family doesn't continue. My legacy doesn't continue. If I don't have children, my last name die. I promise you, it's more McMullins out there. I promise you it is. But the way I'm looking at it is that my last name dies if I don't continue this legacy. If I don't do what I need to do, then everything stops. Mm-hmm. It's all halted if I don't do what I need to do. The next generation don't get to live the lives that they were supposed to live. The next generation after that, if the next generation don't do what they supposed to do based on where I leave off the legacy, then they don't get to the milestones that they were supposed to get to. And if I don't make the decision right now to do the things that I need to do when I have children, and if I don't set them up correctly, then they'll have to do the same thing over that I did. They had to struggle from the beginning, like I did. And that's not what I want. Because I want my children to be in a life where, because I've done what I've done, because I use them as my anchor, they're not even born yet. I want y'all to understand that. Alyssa is not pregnant. Yep. Stop congratulating her on being pregnant, like for real. Like it's getting old, like for real. But I don't have kids yet. So, but what I understand is that when I have children, that if I don't do what I'm supposed to do to set them up for success, their lives are going to be just as hard as mine, and there's no freedom in that.
Nope.
So to basically put what he said in like a easier term, it's kind of like just like a GPS. When you're on that route to your destination, when you come up against a traffic jam or adversity or anything like that, you don't just quit the trip. It reroutes you to another direction to make it to your destiny. Don't just quit. The main thing, don't quit. You started for a reason. You wanted to do what you started. Do it.
Do it.
Well, I mean, and not only that, but just like with the sacred circle, like putting yourself in the right community where people are going to be like, all right, well, let's say that you come across adversity, you call Aaron, and you're just complaining like, and I know that you would never do this, but like, oh, well, this happened, that happened. I bet you Aaron's going to be like, okay, well, what'd you learn? What'd you take away from it? What are we doing? How can I support you? How can I do this? How can we do that? We got this. Let's go. I'm going to come over now. Like, let's just do it. And then I'd be right alongside him. Like, there's so many people that want to lone wolf everything.
Yeah.
Like, they were just talking about
Thank you for going
how everyone thinks, like, the lion is the king of the jungle. Why? Because he's usually a predator that's usually chasing after whatever comes across, antelopes, rabbits, whatever. But in all actuality, there's other creatures, such as the African wild dog, that aren't as selfish. Like, they're not going to just grab the antelope and take it for themselves, and whoever's weaker than them or they're not getting along within the pride, whatever the case might be, like they might die off because they don't have food because they didn't catch anything. Whereas there's the African wild dog, like they're going to take care of their entire pack. They're going to make sure that everyone's taken care of, that everyone has something to eat, someone is always supported in some way. They probably have like a different way of actually hunting. Like they have the persistence, like they were just talking about, like they'll hunt something for an hour. Like they don't care. They're not going to give up. They're going to be scrappy and figure it out. You have to get in those right environments to where there's people that are not just thinking of themselves. Like when Aaron's trying to build up the company and you guys are having, or even like the initial conversations with the other individuals that I'm not going to name, but they're like, oh, well, the logo has an A, so that must stand for Aaron. No. At the end of the day, like, if he eats, everyone eats. At the end of the day, it's a entire system that we're trying to build. It's a whole family. It's a whole business. It's a circle of people that care. Like, I can promise you, he's skipped over opportunities because he's like, just like CJ. Yes, this would be great for us and it would be great immediate gratification. But no, it wouldn't work for the whole team. There's going to be moments in time where you have to be tethered to something, whether it be tethering to a community or a family or whatever the case might be, that you actually have to know what you're fighting for. Like, are you just fighting for your own bank account or are you fighting for everyone? Are you going to think selfishly or are you going to think for the team? Are you going to, you have to know what you're doing.
Yeah, I appreciate you for going there. I just want to go ahead and put it out there that I didn't know what an African wild dog was until yesterday, and I did a little research on it. But yeah, like the things that he was saying, bro, it was true. Reverend Tyus talked about the everybody want to be a lion. He's like, because everybody want to be a beast. ET said everybody want to be a beast until it's time to do what beasts do. He was referencing the lion when he said that. So now everybody saying that they lions, they do, because most of them are from Detroit, Detroit Lions and all that other stuff like that. So everybody's saying, yeah, I want to be a lion because I'm gonna be a beast and all that other stuff. But Pastor Tyus said that if you trying to be a lion, let me tell you what lions do. Lions are selfish. They hunt when they hunt. They hunt for them. They hunt for their pride. Like no matter what other lions out there, they hunt for them and their people. Like for real. Like when a lion is backed into a corner, he'll take a cub from another pride and eat them. Yeah. Like just being real. Like they selfish. They don't think about nothing but them. And he said when the male lion is hunting, I want y'all to catch this, right? When the male lion is hunting, his success rate of catching his predator drops down to 10%. You have a 10% success rate because you hunting on your own. And it is deep because a lion run faster than a gazelle, bro. You still can't catch him. You had a 10% catch rate of catching something that you're faster than. You still can't even catch the slowest one. And because you hunting on your own, you can't figure it out. Like for real, you a lion, right? You're a lion, right? I'm gonna tell you like this. You're a lion, right? So when you're a lion, I'm gonna just put it out here like this. You can't focus on 4 legs at one time. You in the circus getting tamed because the dude holding the chair up to you don't even know where to go. Like just being real, like you a lion. So here's what I want everybody to do, and I'm glad Alyssa went there. I want everybody, like if you're listening to this, you're watching this, I want you to just submit. Now don't submit to us, but submit to whatever you believe in, right? I want you to just throw your hands up and you say like, I just need help. I've been too strong. Like I'm gonna be real with you. Like in my own personal life, I've been too strong. I've been in situations where where I know for a fact I needed to call somebody and I don't. I've been in situations where I struggle with something. I'm struggling with things right now, and I've never reached out to anybody about it. So I want everybody out there to, like, if you're listening to this right now, right, just accept the fact that you need help, because there's no point for you to go through this alone when other people got the answers.
Right.
There's no point of you struggling through something and dragging your family through it when someone can literally just point you in the right direction when all you had to do is just raise your hand and say, I need help. So if you're listening to this, I want you to understand that there are people out there for you, and you don't have to do it on your own. I thought that you had to do it on your own.
You're not inconveniencing anyone. There are people that want to.
Right there.
There are people
Right
that
there.
want the community. There are people that want to support others. All three of us included.
You need the community.
Yes.
Right.
And the community needs you. Like, just being real. Like, you might have something that you can bring to the community. You worried about the fact that how you gonna look if you I'm gonna look weak, so I ain't about to do that, bruh. No, you were taught that. It is not real. Like, when I came into this community, I thought the same exact thing. I'm telling you, like, I used to think things were real that were just made up in my own head just because of the way I was raised.
Being your authentic self and putting that into a community, you bring value to that community.
Right.
Each person brings their own unique value to that community. So don't be afraid to start it. Don't be afraid to be a part of it. Just go for it. Be you. Be your authentic self.
So just do it. I just need y'all. I need you to just say, I'm struggling with something. I need help with something. I want to be a part of the community, and even if you don't want to be a part of this community, I'm perfectly fine with that. I get it. You know, to each their own. Just say, like, I will point you in the right direction. I will make sure that by the time we done, that you will be on your way to figuring out whatever it is that you need to figure out. And if you need me to walk side by side with you, I got you. Only thing you need to do is just raise your hand and say, I need help. Some of you guys out there are way too strong. You way too strong for your own good. But the biggest thing that I learned in Mexico is that God doesn't want to, he wants you to be weak for him, because the person that is weak is the person that needs the help. The strong person that you show, the strength that you show when you're out in public, the strength that you show to your family, the strength that you show to everyone else around you, that's not the person that needs help. So if you're walking around trying to show the strength, and you trying to show that you need help out of the strength side, then it's not going to work, because the person that is weak inside of you, the person that you are afraid to show, the person that you are that you are afraid that people might judge you for, is the person that need help, but you never show him. He never gets help. You always stay in the same place. So all I want you to do is just submit and just say, I need help. Just raise your hand and say, I need help. That's all I need you to do. Whether it's to submit to God, whether it's submit to your family, go talk to somebody, go get therapy. Like, yo, for real, like, people think that therapy is such a bad thing. Bro, like, for real, some of y'all need it, man. And I talk to some of you personally, like, you need it. There's no way around it. Like, there's something in you that is broken, and it needs to be fixed, and now is the time to fix it. Like, there is no more excuses. There's no more reasoning that behind the fact that you are sick in the head. I need you guys to man or female, I need you to raise your hand and submit to God, submit to whoever you want to submit to the universe if you don't believe. I don't care who you submit to, but submit to something. and say that I need help. And just reach out to somebody, man. Like, that's all I need you to do. Like, we don't need you to do nothing else. I don't want you to pay me. For real, I don't need your money. I can figure that part out. Like, I can figure that part out.
We've got the community. We're figuring it out.
Money isn't a determining factor for anything in my life. I'm just being real with you. Granted, I need money. Like, I ain't gonna sit here and tell you that I don't need it. But for real, I'm not here for your money. I'm not here to ask you for anything. All the thing I'm here to present to you is a community, and we have the community. But if you don't want this community, then let me show you how to find one. That's all I ask.
Amen. Whew. About to turn into a sermon up in here. Alrighty. Do we have anything coming up? What we got planned for next week?
Next week, I don't think we have anything too big planned for next week. We have a meeting with our real estate mentor, and we got some things going on the real estate side. And I'm currently finishing book 4 of my current series. So nothing planned next week because I've been neglecting that book for a while. I was supposed to get up and start writing it today, but we didn't get up early enough. Because apparently I didn't get enough sleep the night before.
Obviously.
I'm gonna need you mind your business.
You're my business. You're also my circle.
Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that has been the Dirty Trunk Podcast, where the elephant is always welcome. It is me, your boy, Marcus Morton. Always here with me is the Aaron Mack, and we have the lovely Alyssa here with us. And always remember, those who fail to address the elephant in the room are doomed to be crushed by the weight of it. This is the Dirty Trunk Podcast. We love y'all.
Peace. Love y'all. See y'all next week.
Bye.